All right, guys, we are a quarter of the way into the season, and let's do a quarterly report. See where each and every team are. Make this real finance style, and we're looking at each one of these teams and understand what's going on with them, where are they lacking, where are some of these liabilities here, and how are their assets when it comes to a car and their drivers, and just generally the team. How they're doing. So we'll see from there. But all right, Ruhan, want to kick us off? Want to start us off for our new
Sure,
quarterly report,
sure. So
2025?
for our court, yeah, before the tariffs kick in,
Yeah, exactly.
it
Yeah,
things are gonna change.
exactly. Yeah, no more
All right.
flexi wings, no this, no that. Yeah,
Exactly, exactly. So
yeah.
are we calling McLaren China?
Well, I mean, their assets have been too good, I guess, if you want to think
Really
about
good.
it. My God, Piastri, they probably the I was expecting Piastri to make a little bit more of a jump, but maybe not this much. I think we've just seen that this guy can be no matter even if he has kind of a bad day on Saturday, because I still think qualifying pace is really close between probably three teams at the moment. It's just no matter where they're qualifying, I just think Piastri finds a way to at least get a podium, and now starting to just pick up a win whenever he wants. So the outright pace is just it's just been too good, and I don't know. I think it's just
I don't see any liabilities in this company's sheet, bro. I think everything is just assets, assets, assets. The
I,
car, both the drivers.
I think. Wait, are you kidding me? I think the biggest liability is Lando's confidence, if anything.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
true. He's had a tough time.
it's had a tough time. I think. Oh, Lando's just not got it. I just not got to grips with the car enough, I feel like. And that's disappointing, honestly. I expected Lando to be really, really very, very good this season. I'm very,
Oscar
very high
has
up.
more wins than Lando in Formula One now. Six versus five.
Wow, that's crazy. That's actually crazy.
Yeah. And I think Lando has done 130 something races. Oscar
Yeah,
has done 50 something. So,
yeah,
hmm,
correct.
British talent, all that media attention. But I think it's not really his fault. Just that he's had some issues. I think his confidence has been impacted.
Yeah,
Maybe it's also a shock to see how well Piastri has been able to do because I think he was expecting to be the clear number one, and
yeah,
clearly that's not the case.
exactly. There is no number one, and there is no number one, and they're very clear about that. So I don't know. It just makes it interesting to see because they keep saying that they're going to be a day where they're going to race each other and they might even crash into each other. Well, if Oscar keeps up this pace, I don't know if that's
I
happening
don't think they're
anytime
going to be
soon.
in a condition to crash
Yeah,
into each other anytime.
exactly. Exactly. Well, okay, they've had a great start to the season, been playing the team game for some time, but now
Strong buy.
strong, yeah, strong buy. But we're looking now at Mercedes, and I think I think
Interesting.
I think it's been a very interesting year.
Outperforming.
High performing and maybe like sneakily a little higher than I probably was thinking that they were going to be. Um, I didn't have a lot of hopes for Mercedes at the start of the season. I thought they were going to be struggling just with. I think Antonelli was a good talent, but I just felt like, oh, he's just going to push the car a little too much. Maybe he might make a couple of mistakes here and there. Um, but take a weekend for what happened in Miami this weekend, it's just qualifying. My God, this kid has pace. And race pace, I think that's still a little bit
It'll
of an
take
issue
time.
for
It'll
it'll
take
take
time.
it'll take time, but definitely I think very raw talent that for Antonelli, who's without a doubt the Head and Shoulders the best rookie so far. But also he has a very good car. So
You're saying the product is good. It just needs, innovation is there. It just needs to be refined.
exactly,
That's what Toto
exactly.
said. He said, guys, relax. He might be on sprint pole here, but he doesn't even know this track. We are going to tracks after this that he knows and he's driven on. So
Yeah,
just wait.
yeah,
And it's kind of scary what this kid can do.
yeah. What about George?
I think George is the best performing asset as for the kind of PE ratio you would want to define. But I'm just looking at, the kind of performances he's put in. for the car he's had. He's always there to pick up the scraps. He's
Yeah,
always there. Miami as well. He was nowhere close on pace, but at one point he almost got passed by Science, but he still came back and came third ahead of a charging Verstappen at the end. So
yeah,
he's done the best he can, honestly.
yeah, yeah. You're 100% right. George is driven awesomely. I think he's whatever given everything that all the stuff with him and Verstappen before, and just generally some of the complaining that he's done in the past. He's driven well. He's had a very impressive start, and I just thought that because of Lewis leaving, felt like a huge there was Lewis is a huge piece that's leaving their team. So now it's just like they just feel they feel like they're already turned a page and moving on to the next generation. So I'm excited to see what Mercedes do, especially come 2026. So we'll see.
You
But
know, one last point on
yep.
Mercedes is their development. You know, we look at the kind of development, how the stock is going to perform. Well, if you look at the pipeline, they have the best engine for 2026, they're saying. So, and
Oh,
Mercedes has done it before.
yeah.
So,
Oh,
you never know.
I thought you were gonna get into like Lewis and the development of the car and all that stuff and all the kind of stuff that's surrounding in the past, but
No,
whatever.
no, no, I'm not going that much into finances. We'll leave that to Trump and co.
Yeah, but let's talk Red Bull. Um
They
oh
only have
God.
one asset.
They only have one thing.
They're
But
bankrupt everywhere else.
that one thing is just Mr. Verstappen is just oh my God, he's so good. And no, there's a serious argument that if he wins the drivers championship, that probably might be the greatest drivers championship we've seen in some time. Seriously, if he wins it, because it is nowhere near the best car. Not even top three. Seriously. And it's
Yeah,
just yeah,
maybe fourth. I think fifth. You know,
yeah,
you had that mosquito that you were swatting away, and that reminded me of what kind of bullock carts are called in India. So we call it a Gadi. So I think this Red Bull is a Gadi. It's a full-on bullock cart. Because
yeah.
if you look at the points championship, like the teams, Red Bull is third with 105 points. In the championship for drivers, Max Verstappen is third with 99. So his two mates combined have scored 6 points. And
I
Yuki's
think that
actually done well.
I think it's all coming from Yuki, I believe, right? The 6 points.
I think so, because I don't think
I don't
Lawson ever
remember
got into a
Lawson.
top 10.
Yeah, I don't think so. So yeah, I mean, I'm getting to a top 15 at least. Let's start with there. But okay. Um now oh God, I don't
So
even
Red
want
Bull is
to
a hold or Red Bull is a sell for you? I think a hold.
um I think as a whole because I mean Verstappen is just Verstappen and I think the minute that a couple pieces just click a little bit more because some tracks if you get it right on if you're qualifying at P1 and you have a good start. That's it. I mean, it's race over almost.
Exactly.
So a place like Monaco, for example, I'm very curious to see what Red Bull will be able to do there. But now let's talk about. I don't even know. I'm just rolling my.
Sell, sell everything. Sell
uh,
everything.
Tell the race engineers, man. I don't know what they're telling the
Sell the
drivers.
horses. The
Sell the
horses are dead.
horses. Sell the horses. This team. But okay, see, my thing is if they're screwing up this badly, which is it's been
Pretty bad.
pretty horrible first quarter for them. Um, how do maybe Fred and Fred and Co basically now go and decide that okay, screw this car, it's all 2026. And
True. I think it's very possible.
I don't know, but they also spent a lot of money on this car. From what we were hearing about new concept,
Yeah.
this is just
Push rod versus pull rod, the whole change after 2024, a car that nearly won the championship. Why you want to change that? I will never understand for the last year of regulations when you're going to change the car again.
exactly. And I think that car last season of where it got up to, especially come challenging with McLaren, it felt like a looked like a very comfortable car to drive from
Yeah.
Charles and Carlos's perspective. So just shocking, honestly, from Ferrari this first quarter. But we talk about it now, a team that is. really impressive. I think both the drivers now just now starting to get to grips really, really well. Williams, I mean, I'm just thinking
Assets
from
on
just
assets again.
yeah, I'm just thinking from about 5 years ago, Williams were just battling at for P19 and P20, and now they're now they if they're not scoring points, it's kind of surprising from their end now.
Absolutely. If you
Hmm.
look at the points they have, they're almost double Haas, and Haas has had some terrific race weekends. If you look at Williams, they've actually, we covered this in our last episode. They've kind of also, like Ferrari, cannibalized each other because Albon is really trying to push himself to be the number one. Sainz is getting to grips, and obviously he has the talent. So they're kind of like fighting each other a bit. But end of the day, they've really done well, even though they've not had the maximized race results through strategy. And the only thing is, yeah, long term, this stock is going to outperform. 2026, I have big hopes. It's
Yeah,
only for the next 3 quarters, are they really going to put that effort? Because I think from this point on, the teams we are going to discuss are actually teams who are also looking at it from a quarterly basis. Like, when do we stop developing the product now and look at the future product pipeline? Because they have limited resources as well. They have the budget cap.
exactly.
And Williams already said that they're going to focus on 2026. So, how much more are they going to push this car and how much longer are they going to be competitive?
Yeah,
It's a big
yeah,
question.
exactly. I think another team that's probably questioning now this to go next to the championships standings is us, and they
They don't know
put
what they're doing there.
yeah
They're not used to being there.
they but they put some things together on a race day, and if
Yeah.
sometimes they're getting double points finish. Ollie Behrman is saying ciao to people, just going down, overtaking everyone. They've had Behrman's been I think been impressive at times. Maybe I think a little bit unlucky with
Not in quali. I think his quali is his Achilles heel.
yeah, quality has been an issue, but I think that was always something even in when he had his little stint in Ferrari for those couple of races. I think the quality wasn't. I mean, he was just asked to come into the race half the time. He was
True.
just yeah asked to come into the race, and he would be very very competitive. So, um, someone to watch out for. Seriously, I think that once if I don't know if there's a potential,
2027.
yeah, 2027
I
kind
don't know
of
if you heard the thunder in the background, but that was to announce his return to Ferrari someday.
exactly. Yeah, maybe 2027 Ollie Behrman might be something to really, really watch out for.
Because imagine
But
if he gets his qualifying together, if he's performing like this in the race with a Haas,
yeah,
what what level he can go to. So he's the asset I really like. I think Ocon has rediscovered. I think that was a factory that needed some development, some cleaning. That mind has been cleared. Processes are
yeah,
standardized again. They're doing well.
yeah, new team, and honestly, Haas feels really settled, which is something that like we don't really say too much about them because they feel a little bit more in control, a little bit like things are like if they're doing things like it's I think they're very intentional with the way that they want to improve the car.
True.
Also, I'll give it to Komatsu a lot of what I owe.
He's turned
He
this team around.
he's done a really good job with Haas. So excited to see where they're gonna go from here. And I think keep an eye on Haas, man. I think they might be really the team to watch out for come later. But I think that's one team that I could really see them saying that okay, 2026 will might give it a go a little. We
Oh,
might
so
be
you're
focusing
placing
more.
it at a buy then.
Maybe, yeah, yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
That's the first time Haas has done anything worth getting a buy.
Yeah, yeah. Sneaky, sneaky back. All right, Aston Martin. Oh, the goat,
The one asset is Stroll. What do you want to talk
the
about?
goat, Lance Stroll. I'm telling you, man, he's got some moments. He's doing something. Honestly, Lance Stroll has not been as bad as we thought he was going to be, and it was those first couple races, and we had the sprint. Excellent, good haul of points and keeping them relevant, I guess, because there's a real chance that they could be. I thought that they could be coming in maybe even last in this drivers' championship. I'm sorry,
I
and constructors. Yeah.
I mean, Alonso is last in the Drivers' Championship, right?
Well, you got to get a point first, so you know.
So he's not classified yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I mean, I'm kind of surprised, everyone would, if you're really like going on this topic of like assets and stuff, you have Alonso, who you always look at as like the cash cow. You put him in any team, he's going to perform. He's going to give you those profits. It's
exactly.
not coming this year,
Hmm. Yeah,
but
the biggest cash cow is now Lance Stroll, man. You put him in any car,
for now,
he's gonna
there's one
deliver.
more cash cow back in the factory preparing for next year.
Yeah, I mean they've been very clear that 2026 is all their priority now. And I'm quite curious and maybe even just a little bit like scared of what Adrian Newey's now gonna do in 2026. So.
What if Max Verstappen comes here? If Alonso retires, how
Hmm.
does that change the performance of this team?
Well, they're winning everything, I guess, at that point, because your Adrian Newey and Max Verstappen just have a connection like this. So,
Yeah,
it's good. I keep an eye.
talk to watch out for.
Yeah, I think that's a real
Actually,
team
this is
to
an
watch out for
underrated stock.
2026.
This is the time to get in. Price is really low.
Exactly, exactly. Okay. I thought when we talk about maybe some underrated stocks and maybe there was a little bit more we expected out of them just because of what was going on, what kind of happened in the beginning part of the season. And we've been so impressed with their drivers, at least one of them. Um Racing Bulls, kind of surprised to see them quite not being as high up on the midfield. I mean, it's tight, but maybe a little bit
I
more
mean, they're
points
two
I was
points off
expecting from them.
last.
Yeah,
So,
but I think also they've just been very unsettled. There've been driver changes. The car looks pretty good to
the
drive,
car
but it's
always looks good to look at as well. So,
exactly
product
exactly
looks good, but doesn't have any features inside, it seems.
exactly. And someone like Hadjar has been like
It's really good.
really good. I think we want to say like Ollie Behrman's probably been one of the most impressive rookies, or Antonelli. I'm giving it to Hadjar also. I would not discount him one bit because he's been very consistent, getting
True.
at least being competitive and coming in like P9, P10, qualifying pretty good also. So yeah, he's been
And
really
let's
good.
not forget, Yuki, before his transfer, he didn't score a lot of points for them because he was getting into crashes or he had a failure in China with one of his parts. I think it was his front wing that broke off.
Yeah.
So Hajar has kind of carried that team, and that's the thing. They had a good asset, which is now performing or sort of performing for the Bullock Cart team, but they've got possibly the worst hated asset, like no one wants to touch in Formula One right now. Mr.
Yeah.
Liam Lawson, who doesn't want to make friends, he's here to win. I don't know what he's winning, but
Who's coming last at this rate, bro? Oh my God. I mean, no points. Still no points for Liam Lawson. It's at this rate, you were in Red Bull, just massively got it wrong in Red Bull, and not even been able to be pretty competitive here. And I think maybe
Miami, he
sometime.
crashed out in both races. Sprint, he crashed into Alonso. Now he crashed out himself in the main
Exactly.
race.
Exactly. I think would be kind of surprising, honestly, if this is the performance we're seeing from Lawson this season. Um, yeah,
Yeah, just bring Ricardo back at this stage.
yeah, I think they might need to go to another driver, a different look. So, let's see. I think they're going to be one to look out for because anyone who's going to Racing Bulls is we're seeing as the future for Red Bull. But
The futures don't look too good for this one, man. I'll
exactly.
be honest.
Yeah, the future doesn't look good, and I really have enjoyed. I think because Racing Bulls, when Hajar and both Sonoda were paired up together, it was I think a team that I was expecting. Okay, I think they're really going to be a competitive midfield team, and it just doesn't feel like they're being as competitive as we thought they were going to be, and it's all down to Hajar. So,
Absolutely.
um, but now we get into Alpine. Oh, just
They literally have a liability, bro. And the
dude.
biggest liability is Flavio.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Doohan. I mean, Doohan's
Oh,
also
he's not
been
even on
not.
the chart. They just register him under business expenses getting reimbursed.
Exactly, but rumors have been starting to really circulate now that Colapinto's coming in for potentially for Imola, which at this rate I feel like just get him in, just get Colapinto in. We felt like he deserved a seat last season, and now they are struggling. Alpine's really struggling, and
Is it
Gasly's
safe to say they would be bottom of the table if it wasn't for Gasly absolutely outperforming this car?
yeah, and where is that? I think it was in Bahrain, I
I
believe.
think it was
Yeah,
Bahrain as well.
I think it was in Bahrain that he had just an incredible race where he came like P6 or something like that. But it's these are things that they like there I think I wouldn't be surprised because if they're getting a new driver also like say for Colapinto coming in, it doesn't make a lot of sense for them to be focusing so much on the season. I think they should really be one of the teams like Aston Martin to say that 2026 is more of the
I think
priority. And
you can kind of
yeah,
see that, right? Because
yeah.
they've shut down the engine department after 50 years. That engine
Mm,
manufacturer part of it has, kind of been spun off, divested. So you have fully now a team that makes a chassis. You don't have a
yeah,
power unit. So it's going to be interesting what partnerships they form as well. I think this is a stock I would not go near now.
yeah.
Gasly is a big buy, personally, like as an asset, but I think he's done well, dude. I think he's
He's
done
done
well.
well. I think he's done
Colapinto,
well. I feel like I don't know. I think the car that he's just been given has just been. I think there's a lot of
it's
car
not
issues.
been there.
It's just not been there for him. So that's why I worry that I think just knowing Alpine's future, I don't really expecting too much just quite yet. But we'll see if maybe Flavio can do something with the team. So we'll see. But kick kick Sauber.
Kick them out.
Oh,
Kick them out. Kick them
yeah.
out.
I mean, they are getting kicked out. Audi's coming in, so yeah,
Audi might Audi might get kicked out of Formula One because of these guys. Honestly.
yeah. Stupid slime. Oh my God, when you put slime as your livery, oh, that's horrible.
And
But
LED lights on your wheels so that
yeah,
people can actually see if the wheel has been changed.
yeah.
Like, oh my
They
God.
haven't been as bad as we think. I think that they've.
Excuse me? They came, Hulkenberg got almost all the points they did. No, he got four, I think. Yeah, four of six because they have like 6 points right now.
Okay, but given from last season, I think
Yeah,
points was like an incredible day for Kick. I'm just telling you, like they've that's their season made from comparing to stuff that happened last season. But you know, I Nico has done some has had some races where he's been able to get a couple points here and there, and this is a team also that's just focused completely on 2026, and you can tell.
true,
I think this is all just also a season for Bortoleto just put in some performance. I don't think like the expectation is really low just because the car is
true.
really bad. Um, and and if you can just outdrive a little bit and just give fate, honestly, to the team that hey,
But the issue is when he tries
yeah,
to outperform the car, like he did in Miami, he's trying to push the car, the engine gives out because it's from Ferrari.
well, that yeah, I was about to say that's just a Ferrari issue. And oh, this is all the Ferrari teams. They just seem their equipment that they're working with right now is just very questionable. So
Never been upgraded, bro.
exactly. I mean, excuse me. The team is no. I mean, now why Ferrari's going to stop making the engines? It's all going to go to HP. HP is going to make going
Ah,
from
I think they
printers
already
to
are.
yeah,
That's why
exactly.
it's so shit.
Exactly. Just make it a blue car. Just make it a blue car. I mean, we already have how many blue teams do we have? I think we have like four.
Alpine, technically.
Yeah, we've
Um,
got Alpine, Racing Bulls. If you, yeah,
Red
I
Bull
mean
is purple, but
basically blue.
um,
Williams.
yeah.
Yeah, we can get a fifth one. So this, so we'll be fine.
Yeah, we're going Superman colors, bro. We're just trying to promote the new Superman movie like in advance for
Hmm.
free.
Yeah, but that's our quarterly report for the teams. Um, we've we've seen teams now. say that we're focusing on 2026. I think now some teams are just going to say that everything is going to the next season, and that's why I think this midfield battle, even though it's tight now because teams are just trying to assess where they are, it's starting to. I think it's going to expand. I think now there's
True.
going to be a little bit more gap. I think Williams have proven that they're probably the team to beat in the midfield. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, at this rate, I think Ferrari also is probably in the midfield, and it's just kind of tough to admit,
They're
but
getting
it's
bored at the top, Akash. They've won so much. They're like, let's get some taste for, how the other half lives. That's
yeah,
that's their focus. They want to
yeah,
go from the top 1% to the 99%, maybe even the bottom 1% at some
yeah.
point.
Yeah, I mean, it's also like something that like I think Ferrari also need to be pretty realistic that I think they need to readjust their expectations that I think if they can beat Red
Completely.
Bull, if they can beat Red Bull, and maybe come third, I think
Yeah, it's a
that
season salvaged, honestly, the way the
yeah,
car is
it's
right now.
exactly. I think that they did something at least. I would actually be pretty impressed if Ferrari come at third right now.
I would be
Just
surprised if we win an actual race, not a sprint.
yeah, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough, honestly. The only way I see it is if Charles does another Monaco miracle, probably. So,
This car
um,
won't turn in Monaco. It'll go straight into the water.
yeah, straight into the casino. That's it. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Madagascar 3 style. I like it.
yeah, yeah, exactly. On animal control and everything.
Horses on the loose.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. Now it's gonna be HP printers on the loose. So, yeah,
Which
I
don't
guess that.
function.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, that's our quarter report. Let us know what you think in the comments about our choices. Roast them, do whatever you want with them. But
Go ahead.
we'll yeah, go ahead. But we'll see. I think I think this next quarter is gonna tell us way more of exactly what's going on with the teams.
Definitely.
So yeah, we're excited to see. All right, catch you in the next one, guys.